What is up everyone, Barricade here, and I'm bringing you guys episode 5 of Dragon Ball Z lore. Today I'm going to be talking about Trunks' time machine and how many different alternate universes slash timelines were created due to the use of his time machine. Okay, this is going to get very confusing because it goes back and forth so much. So it's going to be like really confusing and you really need to pay attention. Okay, first timeline. First timeline. Uninterfered timeline. Goku dies due to the heart virus. Then the androids appear 3 years later and they kill off all the Z fighters and it leaves Gohan and Trunks to fight them. Gohan fights the androids for over a decade and eventually gets killed by the androids as well, leaving Trunks as the only Z fighter left. With the aid of his mother, he makes him and his mom make the time machine to go back in time to try to find a way to defeat the androids. He goes back in time, fights Frieza, and then gives Goku, the heart virus medicine so he won't die, etc. And this is where it leads up to in the episodes of anime where, they fight Dr. Gero and Android 19, etc. And they fight the androids, they get their asses kicked by the androids. And then if you remember later on, Trunks and Krillin go to Dr. Gero's lab and find blueprints for the remote. They to find like a remote to deactivate the androids. They give the blueprints to Bulma. She makes the remote, and then this is where the original timeline was supposed to keep going. It got completely switched over and changed due to Cell's interference. But in the original universe, Cell didn't appear, and they made the remote, and then they deactivated the androids. Trunks goes back to his future timeline and stops the androids there with the remote. He didn't get his training, he didn't go to hyperbolic time chamber, so he's still weak. He's still as strong as when he defeated Frieza. Cell appears in his timeline because that's where Cell originally is born in that time, many years in the future. And he comes out, and Trunks is about to go back in time to tell everyone that he defeated the androids and everything's fine. But unfortunately, Cell comes and kills him and takes the time machine. And this is, like I said already, the original timeline was supposed to keep going on with the remote thing. But when Cell killed Trunks and went back in time, it caused a split and caused a different universe to happen, different timeline to happen. And that's what we saw in the show, in the anime, which was them training, Gohan becoming a Super Saiyan 2 and defeating Perfect Cell, etc. So right there, when Cell went back in time, it caused an entirely different universe to happen. So there's 3 universes that happened due to Cell's interference. Original timeline, Goku dies, etc., and Trunks goes back in time. He finds the blueprints to defeat the androids, and then goes back to his time and is killed by Cell. Cell goes back in time and causes everything we saw in the show to happen. So the thing that's really weird is there's 3 different universes. So after Cell interfered, it caused Trunks to become stronger and then be able to defeat the Cell of his timeline when he went back into the future. I know this sounds really confusing. It's like it goes back and forth where one person goes back in time, changes it, and then it changes the outcome of something that already happened in the future or in the past. So it's really confusing. It's really crazy when you sit there and really think about it. But the real sad part, though, is that due to interference of time machine and everything, there is 2 universes that were created where basically the Z fighters are dead. And the real crazy part about this is there's even two of those universes are basically alternate versions of each other of Trunks' future timeline. One where he didn't get the training and was killed by Cell. And this is actually easily the very depressing version of the Dragon Ball Z universe, because this timeline is completely done and dead. Everyone's gone. Goku's dead, Vegeta's dead, everyone got killed by the androids. Trunks finally found a way to defeat the androids with the push of a button, and then gets killed by Cell in Perfect Cell, and then Cell goes back in time. So in that universe where Cell came from, everyone's dead. Everyone's gone. And that's actually a really depressing thought when you think about it, because that means everyone died in a terrible way. No one got any type of retribution, and the whole world is basically screwed over due to the androids. And it's basically a desolate planet, and everyone that is good is basically dead and gone. You know, all the Z fighters are dead. And it makes you really sad. It makes me pretty sad for like Bulma and Chi-Chi because of the fact that you know, Chi-Chi lost Goku and then Gohan, and then Bulma, the only person that she had left was Trunks, and then Trunks gets killed by Cell after finally defeating the androids, and then that's easily the most depressing universe. And then in an alternate version of this, Trunks did get the training due to Cell interfering. It's like really weird. Cell went back in time after killing Trunks, and then inadvertently made Trunks stronger. Like, that sounds really confusing, but yeah, Cell went back in time, interfered, they trained, so when that same exact thing happened where Cell tried to come and kill Trunks to get the time machine, he was already trained and was able to easily defeat Cell. So in this other alternate version of the future universe, Trunks defeated Cell, and it's a lot happier because the world was able to rebuild, etc. And then, of course, the other alternate universe that was created was the one we saw, you know, after the Android arc, where Majin Buu was released, and then Super Saiyan 3, etc. It's overall a very confusing thing to really sit there and think about. But, anyways, I'm running out of time here. If you guys like this episode, please definitely hit that like button and subscribe. I'm a huge fan of Dragon Ball Z, and I would love to make many more episodes of Dragon Ball Z lore. I am a huge fan of the canon. I read into the manga, and I watch the show with the Japanese, you know, subtitles and everything. So I know the difference between the English dub and the Japanese dub. And if you have any ideas of what I should make a next episode about, please let me know. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and take it easy.